I would like to thank all of my employees, department heads, and employees for coming out. And I would like to represent a man that works hard in this community and throughout Mobile County, Mr. Jimmy Knight, who's here. If I could, Mr. Knight, would you please raise your hand? Thank you for coming out. But nevertheless, I have a man that's responsible for me being on this earth today. And I would like to recognize him, my father, Mr. James Davis. If you would, please stand. And last but certainly not least, the woman that helps me. And every man need to help me. And I would just like to introduce to you all my lovely wife, Lisa Davis. If you would please stand. Thank you. Once again, thank you all for coming. The reason that we're over here rather than the next room is because we wanted to make sure that you were comfortable with not being so cold in the other room because the heat was not working properly. But we're here. Amen. And I think that that's the most important thing. And I would just like to thank all of you once again for coming out today because it's been a while. And I think it's very important that you, the citizens of Prichard, and the people from the surrounding areas understand what is the state of our city. And you're going to see, when we put all this together today, that we're in pretty good shape. But we do have a ways to go. But I just want to start with one thing that was very troubling to me for about 2 years. And I want to go on record today. Apologize for not being able to do more than we were able to do. And that's to those pensioners that have done the task over the years in this city, worked hard for the people in this city, and there was a collapse in the plan. I'm not going to sit up and say that I take solely responsibility. But I do want to apologize to you for the hardship that this city, the pension board, and the problems thereof created. But it's time to move beyond that. And we did that. We did that by going through those hard times and coming together, understanding the situation within this city, and say, how can we get things back started? They are back started. They are not where you want them to be. They are not where we want them to be. But it's one thing I want to say to you all, the pensioners and the employees of this city. We are going to work hard and strive to get you back restored to where you need to be. And we're going to do that by making some tough decisions, by generating the revenue that this city so desperately needs to fulfill those obligations. One thing I can say, I was not the one that created the plan back in 1957. Matter of fact, I wasn't even born. But I can tell you this here, the agreement that we agreed to, that I affix my hand to, they will be adhered to. And we are going to make sure that it's followed. And I guarantee you, what we have already promised, starting in 2013, you will start seeing those increases come back to full force. I'm committed to that. You know, when it was all going on, when all this was going on, I got a lot of phone calls nationwide, a lot of offers, and asked me, why are you still down there trying to deal with that? One thing, I'm dealing with it because I asked the people of this great city for an opportunity to serve them with dignity and respect. And you don't find someone that has been given an opportunity like I have to jump and run through hard times. It's one thing I can say in my 49 years I've been on this earth. I have not seen my father run from anything. Good times nor the hard times. And he will not see his son run from anything. The good times nor the hard times. We are here to do the work. We know we can't do it without God. And we depend on his blessing. And everybody in here that has an opportunity to understand who God is, know he's an on-time God. He's not a run-time God. He's not a your-time God. He's an on-time God.
Amen.
And we're going to move this city to another level. As of this day, it is already in process. We're going to show you some things that, starting with the finances of this city, compared to where this city was financially when I took over. Taking over this city, we were over $1 million in debt. Today in this city, we have a surplus of revenue. And it's not a surplus to the point to where we got a lot of money that's out there. But I can tell you this here. When we had over $1 million that was owed out when I came in trying to pay the bills, and today we can say we got $12,000 in the bank, that's a positive effect. And that's money not owed to anybody. But what we're going to do is try to find ways to divvy up those dollars and share it with our employees through the promotions, our retirees, to make them whole, and try to do something to help this city out. Now, it's one thing that I refuse to do, to generate finances in this city. That is to raise sales taxes. I refuse to raise sales taxes because that has been one of the problems why it has stopped businesses from coming in, and it's why a lot of people go and shop other places. You'll be surprised how many people go other places to shop for 1 cent, to save 1 cent. And we have to stay on an even keel with the surrounding area. When I first ran for this office, all I talked about is not putting any more hardship on the people here in Prichard. Not putting any more hardship on the people here in Prichard. I refuse to do that by raising taxes, as I said, to deal with the pension issue. And we're going to have to find a way to deal with it on the water board issue. We are going to have to find ways to come together in this city and stop dividing this city. We have, in this presentation that you'll see, as I said, we talked about the finances. And it's strange, no matter where I go and people that call, everybody wants to find out how we are managing and doing what we are doing here in the city of Prichard. Everybody looked at a city that was supposed to collapse. We didn't. We haven't. And we won't. It's one thing that I knew in this job, to be able to keep it together, you as an individual got to be together. You got to have the integrity, the character, the wherewithal to be able to stand and stand up to you. But we made our agreement with the pensioners that we're going to pay $50,000 a month, which is $600,000 a year. We're going to come up with a lump sum of $600,000 in April to make sure that they know their money is secure. We're going to do that. We have an opportunity in this city to where we have been so fortunate to gain so many grants and projects throughout this city. We have obtained since 2008 through EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, over $500,000 to deal with environmental concerns in this city. Through the Department of Justice, we've spent and had an opportunity to get funds of $1.2 million that we have utilized through community-oriented policing, the Weed and Seed, and the Justice Orientated Grant, the JAG grant as they call it. And we also inherited $3.6 million through the state. Hurricane Katrina, we had $2.5 million. We got a bus hub that is being built right now next to the library that's going to accommodate the wave and our citizens that catch the bus to get them out of inclement weather. This project, to show you how long things take, this project been on the table since Mayor Norwood was the mayor, back in the 90s. We are just now getting this project to move. Also, we got the Whistle Historic Bike Trail, which is another one of those grant funding that's been out there. And I would just like to recognize Mr. Dorsey. If you would, please stand, Mr. Dorsey. This man right here, Mr. Dorsey, with Dorsey Engineering, has helped us to get these projects moving. And I thank you for your effort. And we definitely haven't been able to pay him like we need to. But one thing I do know, I know how to court people to get the help. And we have federal grants of over $52 million in our housing. Mr. Farr is here somewhere. Where is Mr. Farr? Mr. Farr and the Board of Commissioners over at the Housing Authority, who I am pleased to say I have appointed all of them. They are doing a magnificent job when it comes to housing in this city. And I think we need to when you look at it, the dreams that you have talked about for so long about housing and how we're going to bring our communities back. And we talked about Snug Harbor. And we talked about Alabama Village. And we talked about doing away with our only projects, investment projects. The projects are gone. Snug Harbor is being revitalized. Alabama Village, we're not going to quit till we can come over there and take care of you. We understand it takes time. This has been going on for some time. But I can recall a conversation I had at the table with our now president, Barack Obama. I say, Mr. President, I need some help in my city. He asked, what kind of help? I said, we got all kinds of issues. I reached out and understood that you can't help me with my pension plan. But there are some things I know you can help me with. And ladies and gentlemen, when you start looking at the dollar numbers on these grants, that's the help that's been sent down through these agencies from your president, because what we do is we court. And I'm going to tell you this here. There's some other things on the horizon. True enough, we was all excited years ago about the racetrack, the economy changed, and that went away. But there are some other things on the way. When we look at all of these different groups and initiatives that we have, when we was talking about the curfew and how can we have a positive effect on the kids throughout the curfew, these are some of the programs that we say that they are in place. We can get these kids off our streets and start putting them in some of these initiatives. Leadership Prichard, Youth Leadership Prichard, the Police Explorer, Citizens Academy, summer youth tennis camps, and the golf program. And some of those can go around year round. We understood from the public that they wanted the curfew. And I believe if you don't hear the people in this position, you need to be out of these positions. So people say, this is what we want. But when you look at our next, we'll talk about the infrastructure in this city. Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at this city and how we are able to do with the little we have, we paved 31 streets in this city. $2.4 million worth of streets has been resurfaced. And we got this year 11 more going to be resurfaced, which is a $1.2 million worth of streets. And we are doing that because we are partnering. We're being creative. We're studying, looking for monies to help all people in this city to get these things done. Our inspection department is doing a great job. And a great job as far as these businesses that you see coming in this city. A lot of them will tell you this is one of the best places to work with a city personnel to come into a city. A lot of times you have a lot of people that try to make things hard for business to come in. Not here in the city of Prichard. We want to be inviting, but we want to make sure you do it right. We want to make sure you do it right. So we have all kinds of new construction. And when you look at all this demolition that's going on throughout this city, we've had 300 houses torn down already. We have 75 that is on its way to be torn down this year. We are going to clean this city up. But I want to tell you this. Don't think we can do it by ourselves. It's going to take you. It's going to take you. The people in this city, you got to help us. You're going to have to help us. One of the first things I heard a politician say that I remember was from John F. Kennedy, when he said, it's not what your country can do for you, is what can you do for your country. So what can you do for your city? We need you. And this, dealing with public safety, is probably my lifeline. This is what I knew. I have two good chiefs. Chief Trenier, who's here, Mark Trenier. You will raise your hand, Chief Trenier. Chief Gardner is in a conference. Jimmy Gardner is in a conference who's not able to be here. But he's doing some creative jobs, both chiefs. They are hiring, training, and getting troops and employees ready for this city. And this have been at times a revolving door. But they don't quit. But you know, they need you. They need your eyes. They need your ears. They need your phone calls. They need you in this community. We can't be everywhere. But you are somewhere. And help us help you. At the end of this year, our goal is to have 60 officers on the streets of Prichard. Our goal this year is to have 55 firefighters. We started that trend. We promoted some of these guys that have hung in here with us to make room for some new guys. We've started the trend. But I want to say this here as I start closing. This city is over 25 square miles. Very large city. Each council district has somewhere about 25 or a few more blocks. I asked the city council, continue to work hard on your blocks. And I will continue to work hard in the square miles. We got to work this together. It's time out for the finger pointing. Because I would give anybody anything that can come in here today and tell me that they can do any better than what I've already done. If you can, what you waiting on? To come tell me and be a part of it. An election? It's too late. If you can do it, let's do it. Let's not make promises later on. Let's get together and let's do it. That's what this is all about. It's about service, making it happen. We've done a lot, but we got a lot more to do. I earned a name years ago. They called me Quarter Horse. And I got that name in high school simply because I was a quarter mile and I was pretty good in track. I went on to Troy State University because they ran me at Davidson. So Troy said, I want that horse. I want that quarter horse up here so we can ride him too. And I went and was very successful. At Troy State, rode the quarter horse. I left there and went to the sheriff department. They say, we want the quarter horse. The quarter horse went to the sheriff department and got rolled there too. And they got the best out of me. Then I got a call from Prichard, Alabama that said, we want the quarter horse. And Prichard is riding me too. But I'm going to tell you about the quarter horse. He got some thoroughbred in it. And he's not one of these horses that don't have a strap. You can buckle up on this horse and you can ride this horse to the end. And when it ends, you're going to realize you've been somewhere. Thank you all for coming. May God continue to bless you. May God continue to bless the city of Prichard. Thank you. Reverend Mother.